Oh, come on. That's where that supposed to go.
Oh.
Mics are on. Well, we've got two of us here.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I get this puppy rolling.
Well, he's right here.
He's not here. He's here, but he's not here.
Here.
Here, Chester. Here, Chester.
Let's see. Are we ready, Kathy?
On record.
I call to order the Lincoln City Urban Renewal Agency meeting of September 14th, 2015. An announcement before that, we had a dual listing of the time that the city council meeting was to begin. One of them showed 5:30, one of them showed 6. 6 o'clock is the council meeting, 5:30 was to be this meeting for the Urban Renewal Agency. We'll push right on through this meeting and get on to the council meeting. Roll call, please.
Mayor Williams is excused. Councilor Noriakis?
Here.
Ryan?
Here.
Sprague?
Here.
Walke? Here. And Ward?
Here.
Okay, comments from citizens present on urban renewal items? I see none, so we'll go on to the minutes. That won't happen this time. They will be available in our next meeting. Special order of business presentations. A presentation by Dave Price from the Small Business Development Center, the 2014-15 grant report. Good evening, Mr. Price.
Good evening. How are you tonight? I appreciate the opportunity to come and see you again, and I'm going to try to use visual aids. I thought this is the first time I've done this to try to keep me on track and be respectful of your time. And I know that time is short this evening, so I'm going to go through a few quick slides and then open it up to your questions, if that works for you. And I might even try a little visual before we get done here. But very quickly, again, my name is Dave Price. I'm here on behalf of the Oregon Coast Community College Small Business Development Center, the acronym there, SBDC, and here with our what's become annual, this is my third time doing this, the Urban Renewal Agency Economic Development Grant Report. For a couple of you who haven't heard me before, the SBDC has a very simple mission. We exist to help start, grow, and retain businesses in Lincoln City and throughout Lincoln County. We do that in three fundamental ways. The first is we offer free, confidential, one-on-one business advising to anyone who asks for it. It doesn't matter whether you're in business or you're considering starting a business, you're eligible for this. And I really hasten to add that while the context of this conversation is really about the Urban Renewal District and the Special Economic Development Grant and what it affords businesses in that district in as much as the SBDC is concerned, but for this element, the free business advising, anyone who's watching at home on TV needs to know that if they're watching this now and they're in Lincoln County, they're eligible for that. All they have to do is come see us, and there's no charge for that ever, never has been. And so I encourage anyone who's interested in sitting down and talking to an advisor to come see us anytime. But in addition to that free advising, we also offer free and low-cost business instruction of a variety of stripes, and we'll talk about that in just a second, and then information referral services. So, Urban Renewal. We've been working with Urban Renewal in this program since 2013, so this will be our third go-round that we're starting up now. We've been a part of the Economic Development Toolkit for that long. And that program allows us to deliver classes and programs tuition-free to businesses located within the district. If you are curious as to whether your business is in the district or not, it can be a little unclear. It's safe to say that a rough guide is the 101 retail corridor, but there are exceptions and there are additions. We have a giant map, courtesy of Sandy Gruber, on the wall at the Small Business Development Center at Oregon Coast Community College. And we frequently take phone calls and walk over and say, yep, or nope. And when it's a nope, we still try to work with people and find ways to make it so they can participate in the programs that they need. So the goals of this program remain to improve performance, to grow businesses, and to grow wages and employment throughout the district, and therefore the city at large. Just a brief update on numbers. In 2013-14 combined, we saw 57 businesses. That was the number I provided when I came here last year. Since then, in 2015, we saw another 40 businesses participate in the program. So we're seeing an uptick in the participation rate. And so I really would think that while we're at 97 businesses right now, once the first couple of weeks of our new term, which kicks off next week at Oregon Coast Community College, is underway, I think we'll be well over 100 businesses served with this program. And that's a big deal in a town like this, in our size. So what are people taking with your support? Most frequently, they're taking these, QuickBooks 5-part series. And I think that's great to see because I think you would all be a little surprised and probably dismayed at the percentage of businesses in Lincoln City that don't have a good grasp on where they are financially at any given time. It can be shocking, and we can help remedy those situations. And one of the key things is we can talk about theory and we can talk about principles of finance and that sort of thing, but without a good grasp of QuickBooks or a tool like it, it's hard to put those principles into practice. We also see a lot of folks participating in Build Your Own Website. Within 4 weeks, they build their own site, just like the name implies, and they are forever able to update and grow that site, including adding e-commerce, selling across the world, right here in Lincoln City, all of those good things, without getting into a series of complicated contracts with developers and such. And we don't discourage using web developers in any way, but it sure is great if you can speak the language that your vendor is talking with you about. And I think it makes a more informed business consumer. Certainly, we see a lot of classes in the social media marketing, Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Instagram for business, a variety of different tools, and as well as Google itself. And then search engine optimization, speaking of Google, and then our small business management program. And just to get a little deeper into the SBM there, this was an exciting year. The year just ended in the summer, and I did give you a quick recap of this before. I won't repeat myself too much, except to say that last year was the year we launched a program geared towards artists and creatives. These are the solopreneurs for whom the small business management program I took at Oregon Coast Community College as a business owner just a few years ago wouldn't have helped too much. If you're an artist, and we talk a lot in this building about arts in Lincoln City and about how it's one of the key legs of the tourism stool. You know, it's right up there with, you know, dining and lodging and retail and all these things, and arts are a vibrant part of what sets Lincoln City apart, and it's one of the ways that we get our message across regionally and beyond because of the caliber of some of the artists that call Lincoln City home. And yet, if we were to plug them into a traditional business management program, they would have nothing to gain from an inventory management class or human resources issues for the 21st century or whatever it might be, because they are their human resources. What they need is, they don't have anyone telling them what to price their work at. They don't have anyone handling their marketing. They don't have anyone handling their accounting. They do all of that. They wear all of those hats. And so that's where this program came in. We used a text called Better, Smarter, Richer by a woman named Jackie Babicky Peterson. And she was recently named at a conference that I was at in San Francisco last week. She was named one of the nation's state stars. She was Oregon's state star as a supreme provider of content for the Small Business Development Center network. So she's the real deal, is what I'm saying. For anyone who's interested in some of the artists and creatives that we worked with last year, I encourage you at home to don't turn off this meeting, but just later, tune into vimeo.com/Oregon Coast, and there you'll find video profiles of a number of the artists that were in the program. And primarily they talk about themselves and their artwork and their inspiration, and of course, because we're in business, where to buy their art. However, very few of them, I did these interviews and I didn't think to ask, tell me about your impressions of the program. Fortunately, a couple of them volunteered those comments, and you're about to see one of them here. But I encourage you to check those out and get to see some of the talented folks in Lincoln City. Trying to reach out for the coming year that is just underway here. Our term does start Monday, the 21st, at Oregon Coast. We mailed out this flyer. Well, you can't really see it very well there, but trust me, it was very nice in print. And we got a lot of interest, and we thank the Urban Renewal Agency for allowing us to include this in their mailer. We also reached out with this publication, with this program through our various social media and online and even e-newsletter means to try to make sure. What we don't want to have is a program like this that can benefit any business in the Urban Renewal District and then have them not be aware of it. And that's been a frustration from day one, and I think every year we're getting a little better about just knocking on doors and saying, did you know this is available? And pieces like this that we can hand out in person help that, especially when we can mail it to the business owners. So just a couple of comments here. I was traveling last week, and I got around to this late, but I did email our participant list from last year, and I asked if they could share some observations about what they thought of the program to share with you tonight. And one wrote, I learned how to create an incredible website. Misty, that's Misty Lambrecht, our SBM coordinator, gave me tools to set up my web store and to sell my art online. I found the importance of social networking and got very good guidelines on how to effectively approach it. I feel much more on track now, and I thank you for this opportunity. Another student just emailed me yesterday and says the SBM program I took from September 2014 to June 2015 helped me approach my art career as a business. The individual assistant specific to my business has definitely improved the direction of my business and career. I continue to make improvements and decisions based on the concepts that I learned in the SBM program to improve and grow my art business. And I'm just thrilled to hear comments like that. And speaking of, many of you may know Lyle and Arlene Gowing, and I think they're representative of sort of the diversity of our class. And these are folks who have a business, well, actually two different businesses that sell from within the Lincoln City Cultural Center, where they have studio space. And I thought if I could, and if I can swing this, I'm going to let them tell you it's less than a minute long, so don't fall asleep. Here they are. This is Lyle and Arlene Gowing.
Of all, we're going. Rags to rugs and stuff. I'm the rags to rugs. She's and stuff.
And stuff. I'm changing my name to Ann Stuff.
Well, her middle name is Ann, so might as well.
Pardon me. As it happens, I fired up the wrong video. Bear with me just one moment. You know what? This may not work. The link I sent was a different one. I'm sorry. They must have accidentally logged. I found a different one. They had a separate video that's available on our website if you'd like to see it. That just is 59 seconds, and they just wanted to thank you and the staff and talk a little bit about how I'm gonna misquote you here, Lyle, but how the class taught them how to value their time and how to put a fair price on their time, and it's changed the way they do business, and it's changed the way they think about their business. And so I won't belabor that, but please do find the Small Business Development Center on Facebook, and you can fire that up and give it a look. And I'm sorry I didn't check this before we started the meeting. So with that inelegant end, can I field any questions?
Questions? Anyone? Mr. Noriakis? Oh, I thought you had a question. All right. I guess that's it.
Great job, Dave.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your
You're
support.
doing great work.
Thank you.
Great program. Thank you.
We have one more item on the agenda, the Economic Development Loan Program language revisions.
Good evening.
Our staff is at it.
Okay, the agency has several economic development tools in the form of loans and a grant. Sometimes when we're working with potential and funded applicants for the programs, we see opportunities for improvement with the language that's in these programs, different criteria and stuff like that. So this is one of those times where we have a few different suggested changes to the language of the programs, and we wanted to bring those forward to you to see if they're acceptable. We did meet with the Urban Renewal Loan Committee last week, and we did talk about these, and they seemed generally favorable. So we wanted to just bring them to the full agency and have any questions that you might have answered. They basically just improve the flexibility of the programs, like for example, with the energy efficiency loan, right now we require for property owners that the payback period of that 0% interest loan is 10 years. But sometimes there's an improvement made, like with a new heater or HVAC unit, that the payback period, the equipment is not really valuable at 10 years. It might be valuable only to 6 years. And so to reduce the risk of that loan, it's better if we require that the payback is 6 years. So we'd like to just change the language so the payback term is up to 10 years or up to 5 years for those property owners and business owners. For the facade improvement and energy efficiency loans, folks can apply for 2 loans on the same property, but they can't apply for them in the same fiscal year. And sometimes people do have more ambitious projects, and so that means that they end up being strategic in when they apply for each of those two loans, which means we have to do two loan processes, and they have to do two applications, and sometimes the contractor isn't available for both of those construction windows with a gap in between for us to apply for the loan. And so we think it would be simpler and friendlier for the applicants if we just allow that upper limit to be on one application. So instead of requiring two $75,000 applications, they could apply for one up to $150,000 for that property. The third suggested change has to do with ADA compliance. And there are 3 of our loans we require that at least one entrance to the business get upgraded to ADA compliance. And we fully support ADA compliance. However, our staff is not fully up to speed on all of those requirements. And we don't actually get involved with any of the permitting for these projects. We just are the funders. And really, these people, when they have projects, they will go to the planning department and have all the required building permits and make sure that the code is met for their specific project. And so we feel it would be best if we remove that language from our loan program information and let the experts in planning and building address those ADA requirements. The last suggested change to the language would be for the business expansion loan program, and that has to do with being consistent with our facade program, which includes language about, in certain circumstances, the agency may authorize a higher loan amount. And so this isn't for, it's not a criteria that is for every application, but if there is an applicant that comes forward and has a very large project that supports some goals and objectives for the Urban Renewal District, and it happens to be more than the $150,000, it allows an opportunity to discuss if you all want to offer more funding to them, assuming that they would qualify for that. So those are the few changes and intentions of the loan programs that we think would help serve our Urban Renewal District folks.
Any questions?
I think they're good. I think they're good suggestions.
Okay. Anything else? Any other comments? Mr. Norikis.
I appreciate the agency, the staff looking at the loan programs that we have, and I appreciate the fact that we do have the loan programs and that businesses have the opportunity to take advantage of them. And I think these changes add clarity and consistency and flexibility, so I would support the changes.
Any other discussion? Ms. Walkie?
I found one tiny typo on page 3 of Exhibit C, number 2. It says pre-application. It should say pre-application.
All right. Thank you. We will make that change.
But I think they're good suggestions. I think they're user-friendly.
Anything else? I would entertain a motion to accept the changes suggested.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second. I thought they were asking for direction to come back to us. I misunderstood.
No, actually, they're just as presented or discussed. If you're comfortable with that, if you want to see something.
Comfortable about
Okay.
it. I just misunderstood. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I will put my second there.
All right. Discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Ryan? Sprague?
Yes.
Walke?
Yes.
Ward?
Yes.
And Norikis?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have no other items on the agenda, so I will adjourn the Urban Renewal Agency meeting. We'll take a 5-minute break and then begin the council meeting.
Chester, is this the new one? Not this one?
5 minutes or less.
The one that we're supposed to discard here?